Hello everyone, this is No More Op4. If you're new to my channel, basically it consists of gear and gun reviews, as well as bushcraft skills and hunting videos. In this video, I walk you through a 3-day bivouac backcountry camping trip in the Allegheny National Forest. I've previously put out videos on priorities when in a wilderness or survival situation, and this video will focus primarily on procuring water. I will also link techniques on various other camp skills such as cooking, splitting wood, building fire or heat reflectors, as well as general camp setup. As always, we carried all of the equipment used in our packs to an isolated area to set up a dispersed campsite. In this particular situation, our priority was collecting water, and within this video, I'll show and discuss some viable methods for doing so. Please feel free to comment, rate, and subscribe on my video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's No More Op4 out in the Allegheny National Forest for a 3-day trip with Bone Hunter. Say what's up.
What's happening?
So we're a little rushed for time. We got about 4 hours of daylight here. We just got to our campsite. Essentially what I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to bring you along as if you were here on the trip. You'll see how we set up camp, you'll see the different things that we do to get our camp functioning, and then I'll also do some side videos off of this, how we process our water, collecting hopefully some small game tomorrow, keep our fingers crossed, but we're under a little bit of a time constraint here, so we're going to get to work, so stick around, you'll see how we do things. Alright, so we gathered a lot of dry little sticks to get this going. Now working on a little bit thicker pieces. We're going to process these down to where they're dry. Fortunately for us, with the recent storms, there are a lot of downed trees. We just got to pick the driest here, but we've got to get this going. We've only got about another hour of sunlight before we're looking at dark, so we got to get to work. So what I've got is I've got the cattail on the outside, and inside I've got a little pocket of fat wood. What I'm going to do, hopefully, is ignite the cattails. The cattails will burn up quick. That catches the fat wood on fire, and then hopefully everything else will catch accordingly. Fat wood will start with a spark, but I'm in a hurry and I don't feel like screwing around, so we're just going to get to work. And that happens sometimes with the cattails. When they spark, they can go up kind of quickly. In that case, you want to kind of break them apart a little bit because they're too clumped together. What's up guys, end of a long first day, and we just got into our tents here. I am in my Sierra Designs Clip Flashlight 2, and Bone Hunter's over there next door.
What's happening? Hanging out in the Big Agnes Lynx Pass 1, freezing my butt off. Yeah, we're both in our modular sleeping systems, just trying to get warm. We should be fine with the temperatures out there once we get settled, but it was difficult to leave the fire. But kind of a lot happened the first day that was out of our control. We didn't get to do quite as many videos tonight, but we've still got all day tomorrow and then Saturday. So we're going to got some good stuff planned for you tomorrow. So we'll see you in the morning. Boy,
A little cold?
Yeah. Oh, this is too much for me right now.
Dude.
What?
Where is my fucking fire kit?
In the bear bag. Come on, you fucking piece of
Now what's real funny about this is that Bone Hunter doesn't know I've been recording this whole time.
That's my wake-up jam. Outcast.
What's up, YouTube? Got the MSR burning up. Getting breakfast here. Little frost line out there. Thank you to the vestibule for keeping that outside. Apologize for the fog here. I have to work on that. And that's been on about as long as we've been sitting here. That's getting ready to fire up. Let's expedite the process a bit. This morning we have on the menu bananas and granola, or granola and bananas from what it looks like, but powdered milk included in there, and I think I've said this before, but it's surprisingly pretty good. So I'm gonna have some of this before we venture out into the world. On second thought, I may just stay in my tent and eat all day. Here on our second day, again, I apologize for the briefness of the filming yesterday, but we had some unexpected accidents with the video camera. And it wasn't working for a little bit, but essentially what we did yesterday, we got here, what time was it we got here? About 12? Yeah. 12 o'clock. Took us about an hour and a half to hike in a couple miles to get to this spot. We were each carrying about probably 35 to 40% of our body weight, which was a little bit heavy, but for what we like to do, we just have to suck it up and do it. First thing we did was basically we just found a good spot, which was here up against this fallen tree. We've got a little bit of a backdrop for a fire reflector, but we're going to build on that today. We're also going to build a fire reflector for where we built our fire, which was here again. We'll get some stones. You can see I was working on making a little pot yesterday, digging the inside out with hot coals, but that's a work in progress. So right now we've just got to make sure our firewood is back up to stock. We do have some pieces to process here, but we're going to get to work and we'll show you what we're doing along the way. Coal bed's still hot enough, essentially just have to blow it back to life. This is the pine, right?
Yeah.
I'm taking a lot of this dead ash and moving it out of the way.
Okay.
You want a good bed of coals, but there comes a point where you got to start taking some of the ash out. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple things here. If you've watched some of my other videos, I go into pretty great detail in my winter fire videos on water and things like that. But one of the ways that we go out on trips, the ways that we pack out our water, is by bringing 2 empty gallon jugs, because these are pretty heavy when they're full. I see a lot of people that actually carry full water out. That's a lot of extra weight. We do in our packs take, you know, usually, what are those, 3 liters, and then a small canteen, which is enough for the first day if we're going on an extended trip. And then at that point, we'll use the jug system that we have to go out and collect water. What we'll do with this is, 1 jug will always only have water that's always boiled. Now, we're in northwestern Pennsylvania right now, and water isn't really an issue like it might be for some of you, maybe in the Midwest, something like that. You really, you know, every couple feet you're going to fall into either water or firewood, pretty much. There are other ways to collect water if you can't find a source like this. One of them would be using transpiration, where you wrap plastic bags around the leafy part of a non-poisonous branch. Let that sit throughout the day in direct sunlight. It will collect water in that bag. Probably do that with a couple different bags if you have any. Small shopping bags, garbage bags. Probably be able to collect maybe a cup or 2 of water from that, depending on how many you put out. A solar still using condensation is another method, where you dig a pit, you put a pot in the middle of that pit. The pit has to be covered with some sort of tarp or something like that. You put a rock in the center of the tarp and you cover the outsides so it makes like a dripping point down. When the sun heats that up, the moisture in the ground will evaporate and condense on the top of the tarp underneath and drip down into the pot. But how we do it essentially is we've got these two buckets. We'll go down and find a water source. One of them will always be dirty. We'll take that back to our camp instead of carrying it all the way in with us from where we hike in. And then we'll purify it once we get back to the fire. We'll boil it. That's usually the method that we use. So we found some good water here. Just a couple points on this. The origin for where this water came actually out of the mountain just was only about 50 yards farther up the hill. What that basically means is it's probably going to be okay if you drank a little bit of this, even if it was unpurified. Now that's on you. You've got to make the judgment call there. Definitely when you're in lower wetlands or anything like that, you would obviously want to boil or somehow purify the water beforehand. I don't use a water filter, and I don't really use those tablets either. My preferred method to just kill whatever is boiling, but I can say that I've drank water like this before and I've never gotten sick, but you know, you've got to make that judgment call.
Am I taking a picture? What are we doing here? Go ahead, it's going.
So, already got pretty much a gallon of nice clean drinking water, not even 200 yards probably from our camp. Now with this, like I said, we will boil it, but there aren't a lot of contaminants inside, like little leaves or pieces of debris. You've got to pick the right spot really to achieve that, but if you do have little pieces of debris, after you boil it, a good time to kind of filter it is just take a cotton t-shirt or something if you have one and pour the water through that into whatever you're carrying the rest of the water in this case, another empty jug. So by using this 2-gallon system, you essentially can always have 1 gallon of clean water ready to go. Another option for collecting water, if you can't find any locally, is if it's cold enough, check ice. It's in the 20s, maybe 30s right now with the sun just starting to warm things up. But here's a nice piece. Could collect this in a small container if you have one, preferably with a lid that locks so you don't lose it as you're moving around collecting it. Obviously if you're in a snow situation you wouldn't have any problem getting water, but finding ice like this in the morning is particularly easy. You just have to go, spots of shade are always good to check. This actually was in the shade, but as the sun has come up, it's now in the sunlight, so this won't be here for probably very much longer. So we just showed you the water. One other thing that I wanted to discuss was multitasking. So obviously we have to go leave our camp. Another thing to do is try to collect some food. Now I've got my Savage 24 here, so we're going to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, or hopefully at least 2 squirrels with 1 gun, as it were. But you know, you just want to multitask, because anytime you're doing something, if you can accomplish other tasks while doing it, it's going to make you more efficient, save you time to collect firewood, your other important processes that you have. So we're back at camp. We got our water collected. Unfortunately, we were unsuccessful in hunting for any small game. We didn't see anything. We knew based on topography that water was in a certain location, and typically what you want to do is you want to try to go to low ground, places that valley out, because that's where the water collects, which is why we went down that hill. Unfortunately for us, when we got there, there weren't really any trees that provided any sort of acorns or anything for the squirrels to eat, so there weren't any squirrels around. But that's the way it goes sometimes, and you've got to prepare for it, obviously, with having your own food that you've packed in. But right now, we're going to get the fire started, and we're going to get the water boiling, and we're going to cook some food and work on a couple other projects. We got the water boiling. Probably let that roll for about 15 or 20. That should be all that we need. Honestly, probably could have just drank right from the stream, and to be honest, Bone Hunter did. a little bit. So if he starts puking later, I'll let you know. But we're just chilling right now. So honestly, we've showed you a lot of different ways about how to collect water, essentially. And I have no idea where I'm going with this segment here. Fuck.
Perfect segue to Woods Brain.
So as I'm sitting here trying to explain what we're doing here in this video, I have what is called, or what we have come to call it, Woods Brain. We've been working hard all day. We haven't eaten enough yet. We probably haven't drank as much as we should have. And I don't know, Bone Hunter, what would you say? It's kind of just like a fog where you stand around, you know you have stuff to do, you know what you need to do to get it done, but you don't really take the initiative to do it, I guess I would say.
Yeah, lose all direction. No mental acuity.
So honestly, you just have to be aware of when you're out here doing this kind of thing, and anybody that's been out in the woods, done these kind of trips, they know what we're talking about. Just stay conscious of drinking enough water, eating enough food, and taking a break and sitting down after you've exerted yourself. You know, climb up a big hill after we got that water. We needed to sit down for a minute and just kind of gather ourselves. So it's just one thing to kind of keep in mind here when you're out in the woods, because if you lose your head and you do something stupid because of it, you're in a lot more worse situation than you were to start with. So, just to do a camp recap, essentially, we hiked in yesterday. We're in the Allegheny National Forest, Pennsylvania. Hiked in about 2.5 miles with, as I said before, about 45 to 40% of our body weight, which is too much, but we come out here, we like to do a lot, and we are okay with carrying the extra weight. Honestly, the two biggest things for us were guns, which we did a little hunting today, and also our sleeping bags. They weigh a little bit more than a lot of the other options out there. That's the MSS that I'm talking about, but warmth at night is one of the creature comforts that I have to have, and that's the way that we do it. But we've got this camp set up over here. We've got our fire, we've got the boiling water going. It's just where we've been chilling. Tents are about 35 yards over there, and then we've got our bear bag, which is down right now because we're about to make dinner, but it's about another 35 in that direction. I'm going to zoom in. You can see the rope tied off to that little tree right there, and then we have it suspended up in the air at night. But black bear are an issue here, but not that you really have to be that worried about it, but I would just rather be safe than sorry. But we've got our food cooking, probably work on just some camp tasks later on, but just out here having a good time with Bone Hunter. So, sun's about to set. Got it about another hour, and then another hour and a half, hour 45 minutes of light. But essentially at this point right now, we've been sawing a whole bunch of wood that we didn't cut with the axe, and we're going to baton that down. Essentially what we usually do is we keep a small fire burning that has a good bed of coals, and I'll show you that right here. Even though it's small, it's good, and you can blow it back to life. You just have to put these little sticks on it every, half hour or so to keep it going. But then, once the sun does go down and we're ready to commit to a big fire, we can blow it back to life, put some baton pieces on there, and we'll be ready to rock. So that's it for us, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you've got any questions, please feel free to hit me up. All the contact information is on my YouTube channel as well as my blog. And my Facebook channel. Be sure to check all of those out, or my Facebook page, I guess I should say. But it's been a fun trip in the Allegheny National Forest with my my good buddy Bone Hunter. But until next time, guys, stay safe. This is No More Op 4. I'm out.